Which makes me curious. All those chicken rice critics, right, that throw around the standard drop already, the overrated, that say Thien is trash. Do they finish their chicken rice? What do y'all think? Next time you'll hear this kind of talk from me. Welcome back to the last 3 chicken rice of the series, starting us off at Golden Mile at Thien, one of the ultra recommended places from you guys. Like I said, the series winner is probably in this video. This is the biggest chicken rice restaurant we have been to in the series. It's hard to count how many they can seat. And it's also kinda the most Hainanese, maybe. There's one time on the menu. We were there just a few weeks ago. And their chili sauce is also very unlike what we saw on Hainan Island. Anyway, we got the huge jelly in your face again. Good looking rice. Let's give it a go. So far in this series, we have been talking about kampong chicken versus broiler chicken. That obviously is an oversimplification of the world of chicken. Other big factors that we can consider are the age of the chicken and the diet. While I kinda know all of this, I don't know what this chicken is. What is this chicken with a slight yellow hue, a stronger chicken flavor than broiler, and yet still tender? We have seen this in Chicken House, episode 1, we have seen this in Buntogi, episode 3, and we have seen another variation in the Hong Kong episode. There seems to be this nice line of, I wanna say, kampong chicken that can still be tender. The easiest guess would be a kampong chicken that is younger, or maybe on limited playing time. They can only go out exercise for a few hours every day, then they have to go back to the cook, so that their meat don't get too tough. All of that is to say the chicken here is nice, especially the drumstick. The jelly, the silkiness, iconic. The rice, nice, fluffy, separated, stronger on the aromatics, the ginger especially, which I kinda like, but the quality. I'm guessing that the rice is of a poorer quality. It's very broken up and it's very soft. Not particularly satisfying. I can't pinpoint how much of it is because of the cook, but it just slightly takes away from the satisfaction. Another miss is that the breast meat is old or Thai, kinda stringy already. I'm not sure if it's just rested too long, but it's not as appetizing. I'm kinda leaning that dark meat is the better meat for chicken rice. I don't know. But anyway, the chili, this might be a bit of personal preference. The ginger really jumps at you. It's a very raw chili. It tastes like the liquid within the chili is all ginger juice. Personally, I'm not for this kind of chili. I like chicken rice chili that is more rounded, maybe a bit of sweetness, more palatable. The roughness does give a different kind of shock, but it's not my preference. Still, a very strong chicken rice. I know I said I won't mention the soup, but right, this is a full restaurant. I'll understand it better if they serve a low quality soup out of obligation. They don't want to increase their cost too much. But in a full restaurant like this, right, the impression that I get is that they are purposely trying to make a bad soup so as to fit into this chicken rice stereotype. You watching this right now, anybody who has made a soup before, isn't this soup just trolling? They're sandbagging, no? I don't know. I said I won't talk about this, but in there I talk so much about this. Go to the next place. If y'all want a chicken rice recommendation, the people's choice, the favorites of the series, it will be this. Basement 1 of Golden Mile, Ji Zai Ji. Well, thanks for watching. Anyway, I got the usual at 9.50. Here they are boneless place or Qi Gu. So you see all these chickens in the front. Really nice separated rice. But other than that, a piece of tomato for some reason. Let's get into it. Wow. 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 Maybe top 2 rice in the series. I am guilty of flip-flopping between Li Li Fen Ming and having it a little bit sticky. But now that I have had this kind of Li Li Fen Ming rice again, firm rice grains, the rice dancing on your tongue, I'm now sure that this is my preference. Having a spoonful of rice is like jumping into a ball pit. Obviously, it needs to have enough flavor. And this one, I want to say, is seasoned pretty aggressively, which is good. The key factor of what makes chicken rice so addictive is that savouriness. And if you recall a few months ago, I said that the indicator of quality is being able to eat it forever. This definitely has that. The chicken cooked very well, you can probably tell. What is interesting is that while it's perfectly cooked, it still has a little bit of chew. And with its increased flavor, I have to guess that this chicken is slightly older. Not to the point of Lao Mu Ji, but it has a good bit of chicken flavor. Plus a little extra flavor. This sauce, while so understated, is sweet. I cannot tell what is inside. It tastes a little bit like oyster sauce, a little bit like honey, sugar, soy sauce, and oil. It distinctly changes the flavor of the chicken, and I don't prefer it. While it is very tasty, very appetizing, very interesting, similar to what I said about Thien, it is not my ideal Hainanese chicken rice chicken. This is not a miss, this is just preference. Maybe if they serve the sauci with this sauce, I will not mind it as much, but I guess I find out that I'm a purist to some extent. It is, however, very aggressive. This is the first chicken rice chicken where I taste an overt sweetness. There are quite a few people that say that the roasted chicken here is better. I think I can see why, but we are here for the steamed chicken, Baiji. Chili is good, very rounded. What I mean by very rounded is that you can eat it on its own and it doesn't make you jump. The spiciness, the ginger, the sourness is more rounded. And then the soup, while being a simple soup, has a lot of white pepper. And this is my bar. I don't need a very good soup, but I need a soup that at least have ingredients, not powder. Okay, pepper is also a powder, but at least does something. But wow, this rice. I don't know how to place this. Oh my goodness. The best rice by a curveball chicken. Oh, it doesn't get any easier. I'll see you guys at the next spot. We are now at Chin Chin along Purvis Street. The usual cost us $8, the cheapest of today. A little bit cheaper than expected for this area and a good amount of chicken. Rice has a good color but the grains are very broken. Allegedly a Singaporean singer's favorite. They just opened and the restaurant is almost full. That must be a good sign, right? Let's find out. This is the last chicken rice of the series and it's been so enjoyable. I have done several series by now and I can confidently say, personal preference aside, chicken rice has the highest average standard. The highest. This is so delicious. Ji Zai Ji had my favorite rice, or at least top 2. Chin Chin has my favorite application of sauce. Just this slight drizzle, that's all it needs. The main flavor is just the chicken, which while this is broiler chicken, the level of flavor is decent. But while a stronger chicken flavor is very tantalizing, very logical, perhaps this level of chicken flavor is ideal for Hainanese chicken rice. I don't know. I just know it's very delicious either way. Moving on to the rice, very decently seasoned. My goodness. This is really the X factor, the seasoning, the oiliness. This is what sets out chicken rice from chicken and rice. This addictiveness is Commandment 1. Go chicken rice, eat the rice, enough already. Chili is decent, good hit of saltiness. Ginger is super pulpy. But the breast today, while tender, juicy even, is a bit stringy. Cai. I'm not sure if it's the breed, but definitely stringy. They even chop it along the grain already, so I can't tell why. And then the rice, the most obvious thing that we first observed, the rice grains are very broken and mush. Although the flavor is so good. I leave up to you what texture you like. And this miss hit me just now. All of the components on this meal, right, are very familiar. I think this would be what most Singaporeans identify as chicken rice. In fact, a good amount of you will say this is nothing special. But I think we forget sometimes how nothing special is very special. There is so much merit in doing things the orthodox way, delivering a taste locked in time. I don't want to be cheesy but freaking delicious Like in which other series can Eldrick finish everything on the plate one? Okay, let's wrap it up here. It's time for Cafe O'Clock. We are now at YY Cafe, allegedly one of the best kopi peng in CBD, or kopi rather. I got a kopi and a kaya toast bun. Ooh, this is nice. It is both toasted and fluffy. Personally, I don't really like Ya Kun toast. I feel like you toast it until it becomes a biscuit. It's not why people eat bread. I much rather something like this. I don't want to be a value pincher, but if the bread is to be thicker, the spread needs to keep up. For this, although the bread is very nicely toasted, fluffy on the inside, toasted on the outside, the spread is lost. Try the kopi. Maybe we don't go down the rabbit hole. I think I'm very happy where I am now. Anyway, recap. What a lineup today. If we ignore where we've been for the past 3 months and just take the 3 from today as top 3, I don't think we are too far off. Or at least people won't riot. The baseline is so high that I have to be a Singaporean. I have to kek kao. Say until so much, in the end, eat until not even one grain left, which makes me curious. All those chicken rice critics, right, that throw around the standard drop already, the overrated, that say Thien is trash. Do they finish their chicken rice? What do you all think? Next time you all hear this kind of talk from the next table, need to scold them. You say so much then you still eat finish? I thought lousy, I thought inedible. But if there was one differentiating factor amongst the chicken rice that we had today, it would be rice quality. Somewhere amongst the water-fat rice proportion, the cooking time, the amount of heat, or pressure, and the rice grain quality and starch content, depending on how many times you rinse the rice, separates the fluffy, broken rice that we had at Chin Chin versus Li Li Fen Ming at Ji Zai Ji. Growing up eating dinners at my friend's house, I've learned that different families have different preference for how hard the rice should be. For me, the standout so far will be today Ji Zai Ji and Bun Tong Ki. As for the other part of chicken rice, the chicken, maybe the broiler chicken is good enough. The obvious reason will be that the silky texture is hard to imitate with a different kind of chicken. But the secondary one would be that maybe from the perspective of the dish, you don't need such an overwhelming chicken flavor. Episode 11 already. 3-4 months in, I'm still talking in hypotheticals. My goodness. Well, we'll find out in the most important episode. 1 plate I'll work for the chicken rice, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the chicken rice, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in Singapore for the chicken rice. And the chicken rice today get 232. These are crazy 2 plates to give. Crazy. But if the rating were to make sense, and if I were to make extra effort for a chicken rice, I would want the texture of the rice to be my intended. It is not to say that it's not nice. 100%. If we were to go by an arbitrary general deliciousness to the public, I think all of this will score a high 80, low 90s. And that's all the chicken rice I have for you this series. Oh my god, what a journey has been. A reminder, all of the featured chicken rice are the top mentioned ones from you guys. So regardless of my opinion on them, they're all winners in the scene. And I know I'm gonna get so many, LJ, what about this place? LJ, what about that place? Oh, you never featured this place, I cannot take you seriously. There's only one criteria to be featured on this series. And you guys who have been here for a while know, is how much is mentioned in the comments. Nothing else. I don't exercise discretion on my part. So whatever place I left out is simply not mentioned enough. Happy? Okay, fine. We will have one last episode. Just one last chance. I've never done this before, and I'm only doing this because this is my home country's national dish. Whatever chicken rice that you think has been snubbed, comment one last time. Let's have a bonus last chance episode. Last 3 chicken rice. So comment below which chicken rice do you think I missed out. After this, really no more already. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you in the next video.